at the Alliance Theater. Always one of the most riveting nights in any Alliance Theater season, and that is the Palefsky Collision Project. Who stepped up and made it possible that there will always be a collision project so long as there is an Alliance Theater. And I'm talking about Vicki and Howard artists who have made this possible. This year we were so fortunate to welcome 2 new lead artists to the project, and what artists they are. We were talking about the resident artist at the Alliance, our director, Sam Provenzano, and our playwright, Lamar. The director of artistic mentorship, who's been here for 22 of the 23 years of this project, making sure that the integrity of Collision always remains, Rodney. He's also directing Something Moving on the Hurt stage coming up, Mr. David Koté. The Palefsky Collision alum, Alani Salamu. The Palefsky Collision alum, Autumn Dawn. Leadership Fellows, Jayla Dias and Carrington Griffin, thank you. The incomparable Liz Davis, thank you for I'm almost done. I promise you, but the last people I need to thank are the 20 young artists that you are about to see on this stage. Because I introduced Maya as the playwright, but the truth is she didn't write a single word of what you were going to see. Because 3 weeks ago, these courageous young teens came here without any script. They came here without knowing each other, and in 3 weeks' time built this ensemble and created this performance. Every word, every song, every melody that you are about to hear came from their hearts and souls. And we are so honored that we get to share it with you. And the last thing I'll say, this is the final thing that is going to happen in this space. Because in 2 weeks' time, we are going to break ground and create a full-time youth and family theater on this. We're going to sanctify this space and push us into the future that we could never possibly imagine. And with that, enjoy the 2024 Palefsky Collision Project!
back of my mind is that maybe we as a country peaked. This American democracy, this big dream we've all been taught to believe in, has already seen its best days and is now going backward. Pearl Plague asked us,
did we reach the top and just not know it?
did we reach the peak and just not show it? Well, you know, I'm not big on politics, so take what I'm saying with a grain of salt.
Take it with a grain of salt.
Admittingly, this is one of the first times where I actually paid attention to politics and all the stuff happening in the world, and it's scary.
I see so much division where there should be love, so much hate where there should be unity. I fear we're losing the spirit that Amanda Gorman talked about in her poem, The Hill We Climb. She said, our country isn't broken, just unfinished. A country that's brave enough to see the light and bold enough to be it.
So what if we're not that brave? What if we're not bold enough? I fear that instead of climbing that hill together, we're tumbling backward, letting fear and hatred pull us apart.
Gorman said, we've seen a force that would shatter our world rather than share it. And that force feels so strong right now. The dreams of freedom, equality, justice, they feel like they're just slipping away.
I'm scared we're losing faith in the things that should bring us together. When did we start seeing our neighbors as enemies?
I look at our leaders, our media, and even my coworkers, and I see so much mistrust and anger.
It's like we've forgotten how to listen to each other, how to understand each other, how to find that common ground.
But so many people in power have given us so many reasons to contemplate and rethink if anything they're saying is actually true.
I mean, there are people trying to get rid of the truth and don't want to acknowledge the truth. Like the fact that African American people built this country. I mean, that is a truth that is constantly ignored and I wish people would acknowledge. It's one of the many truths this world wants to ignore and is actively trying to erase.
And it's not just the big things. It's the small, everyday things, too. The way people spread lies online, the way hate speech is becoming normal, the way every conversation seems like a battle. I'm scared that we're so stuck in our own opinions that we can't see beyond them.
And everyone's truth is scary. It's different, and that is scary. No matter what news station is blaring, people often edit the truth to what they want the truth to be. We're wary of news, of who we converse with, of robots posting fake headlines with text and images shaped by their code. Robots sewn by our own hand and mind like God creating his first subject.
Factual truths, objective truths are in short supply these days. The media doesn't like them. Teachers are too underpaid, schools too underfunded to teach them.
I wish I was able to voice how I feel at school. I mean, the place I go to 10 months out of the year will literally not let me voice my opinion.
As Gorman said, history has its eyes on us. I fear that when history looks at this time, it will see people who had the chance to rise above their differences, but didn't.
I fear that the promise of democracy is slipping away, that we're failing generations to come.
So what am I scared of? I'm scared that we're losing our way. I'm scared that the ideals that should unite us are being overshadowed by division and despair.
I'm scared that the hill we climb is getting steeper and more treacherous and that we're losing the will to keep going.
But maybe in facing these fears, we can find the strength to overcome them. Maybe in acknowledging the darkness, we can better appreciate the light.
Maybe we can still be the nation Gorman envisioned. A country that's brave enough to see the light and bold enough to be it.
But yeah, like I said, spiders are pretty scary too.
I wish I could go on a walk, see the moonlight on the street, take a breath of fresh, cool air, without feeling like hunted meat. Cover up with pants and hoods, don't leave the house all by yourself. Learn how to run real fast, unless you wanna be on Channel 12. I'm tired of making plans, 'cause I don't wanna end up in a van. Be alert and carry the knife, 'cause that's the woman's life.
I want to be able to dream without fear. As humans, we have so much fear in general. If it's not one thing, it's another.
I fear that the length of my skirt mattered more than my voice, or my growing body was prey. Have you ever had those moments when your head gets so clouded with anxiety, and even though you know that things are going to and then you can go on and have one of the most meaningful experiences of your life. Yeah, that didn't happen. Every anxiety, every worry, every fear proved to be true.
I wish people knew why I am the way I am. Why I am me. Why I am so hyper when really it's just me reflecting the opposite of how I feel.
You and your emotions matter. Feeling unvalidated is no way to live your life.
Why do I rely on other people's validations? Why do I have to perfect everything that I do?
More than anything, we just want to belong.
I feel like I'm always trying to prove something, whether it's to myself or to others, whether it's to my mom that I'm always respecting myself and doing the things she taught me to do at all times.
Why is it so hard to be myself?
Confronting Middle School is the place where things cause me to be afraid of who I really am. I was scared to speak, scared to stand out, scared to embrace myself. Growing up in a generation where what clothes you wore mattered. As a young boy who went through his whole 6th grade year with the same 2 pairs of yellow shirts and 3 pairs of pants. This was absolutely nerve-wracking.
7th grade, I was put into this class with 0 of my friends. The gymnasium felt huge as I walked into class each day. The locker room was my own personal hell. The pink locker showed my terrified reflection on the first day. We were assigned these seats on the floor, and I was stuck right in the middle of a friend group. The girl to my left, the leader, made me feel so out of place. When we would be parked together, she would laugh and roll her eyes like I looked funny.
My forehead and hair was another thing I couldn't mentally be vulnerable about. I used to get haircuts so bad, you wouldn't even want to pay 99 cents for them. This was the reason I wore headbands and hats.
It was sophomore year. I had just got a new schedule and my nerves were through the roof. What if I'm not good enough? What if I don't fit in? Breathe, I told myself. I pushed through the gym doors, eyes on me as the class turned around. Oh God, here I go, I thought. I took one step, then another, my heart pounding in my chest. Are you Hannah? The teacher asked. I reluctantly replied. Go stand there, he said, returning to his prior engagements. I turned and stood on the white line. I scanned the room looking for a potential bond. And then I realized I was alone. I was the only girl in the class, 32 kids, and I'm the only girl. I caved inward, seeking to disappear.
So I changed myself. The jeans and sweater I wore turned into Nike shorts and Lululemon tank tops. My curly hair was pinned straight. I began to talk and act just like these girls. I think in a way I admired how untouchable they were. As the weeks went on, I became close with these girls. I mean, as close as you could for an outsider on their pretty pink planet.
During my 7th grade year, we was coming back to lunch. I had on my hat, my yellow shirt, and my pair of pants. While going inside the classroom, my teacher tapped at me and snatched off the hat and sent me to the bathroom to fix the hair I barely had left. This took a big toll on me.
We are dreams born of chaos, like little boats lost at sea. Hear the echoes of our new generation, won't stop till freedom rings. We are dreams born of chaos, like little boats lost at sea. Hear the echoes of our new generation, won't stop till freedom rings.
My ex-high school theater teacher was a very petty woman with a stifling air whenever she came into the room. You had to act in a certain way or else she'd take it as a personal attack. It was a classic combo of an insecure tyrant. She made my life at school a living hell.
My thoughts ran wild over the next several months. And I was right. Every day was hell. I was picked last. I was never given the ball. No one would even look at me. I got my wish. I disappeared. At least in their eyes. But to me, I was still very much there. Months of being ignored, except when I was being ridiculed by the teacher. Quit wallowing and man up.
What are you on your period?
Just be one of the boys.
Are you gonna get emotional on me?
Why don't
Why don't
girls
girls
like
like
sports?
As a neurodivergent queer trans actor, she always treated me like I was off-putting and didn't belong in her ensemble. I squeezed myself so small for others, and it was agonizing. In a way, I became her
anything. However, I'm Jewish, and I was like, oh, no thank you. And they circled me like sharks. Why? What, you don't read the Bible? And then she said it. You aren't Jewish, are you? I thought she was just making an offensive joke.
Even the joke had some type of truth in it.
No, she wasn't. Because it was followed by her saying, my parents don't like it when I'm friends with Jews. I should have punched her in the face, but I didn't. I said, no, I was just kidding. I can come.
I know she was joking when she did it, but in my eyes, that isolated me from everything. I've never cried about situations like this, but always got closer and closer to being bottled up. I've never talked about these situations either, so I guess I'm healing and making myself vulnerable.
I was lost. Everything I did was wrong. How could I be myself if no one wanted me to be?
These 13-year-olds made me feel so small, I couldn't even admit to my own religion and race. They circled me like sharks again and forced me to comply. It just gets worse and worse and worse until it feels like a curse, or worse and worse, until we reach our limit and it all goes dark and they circle around us like a shark, trying to take our freedom for a midnight snack, trying to look at our rights and take it all back. But only if we let them. I should have bit back.
Let us be heard. Let us be healed. Give us your word. Let us never yield. Let us be heard. Let us be healed. Give us your word. Let us never yield.
A time I felt small was going through abuse with my father. At this time, I was uncomfortable without my real mother. And my father had placed high expectations upon me, which made me feel even smaller. And the people my age were very different, and I couldn't relate to them whatsoever. To give context, I grew up in a poor situation with my mom, so having reckless rich kids who were around me made me very distant.
They didn't starve, but they rarely feasted.
Our financial difference wasn't the only divide. There were judgmental people, just like my father.
They didn't starve, but they rarely feasted.
We, the young, impressionable.
We've braved the belly of the beast.
Can you not hear their laughter, how it contorts to screams?
We've weathered and witnessed. The world felt so dark. I didn't think I belonged. I felt alone in my experiences.
How are you not haunted by these same horrors of mine?
As I wait for chaos to strike,
It just gets worse and worse and worse until it feels like a curse, or worse and worse.
if we merge mercy with might,
And might with right, then love becomes our legacy.
and change our children's birthright.
I was a small, skinny kid who, with long curly hair, who liked to read and act. So it was a reason to be called gay and weird. To be honest, I know that teens can be harsh. I try not to let any of their words affect me, but they did.
My curly hair was pinned straight.
I used to get haircuts so bad, you wouldn't even want to pay 99 cents for them.
I cut my hair, read in secret, and tried to be more masculine for my father.
I was lost. Everything I did was wrong. How could I be myself if no one wanted me to be?
I did everything I could to please my dad, but I became more shameful to him. He struggled with certain addictions, so beating on me was a way for him to relieve some stress.
Let us be our dreams born of chaos. Let us be who bones lost at steel. Give us to the echoes of our new generation. Won't stop till freedom rings. Let us be our dreams born of chaos. Let us be who bones lost at steel. Give us to the echoes of our new generation. Won't stop till freedom rings. Won't stop till freedom rings.
When day comes, I will ask myself, why didn't I stand up for myself when I needed to most?
Why did you let him do that to me?
God help Gen Z. They're not who we are meant to be. They plead to stop global warming, stop poverty from swarming like so many angry bees. But how does that affect me?
I heard a guy say, I know Trump is going to pass crazy laws, but they won't affect me.
It's so annoying when people say that it doesn't affect them, when in reality it does. It may not directly, but it will in some way. Eventually it'll be your friends, or your family, or even your kids.
Right. To me, it feels like this generation is on two different sides.
What is so hard about agreeing to disagree?
I know in my heart that I'm on the right side of history, the people's side.
We don't have to fight. We can compromise.
No one of us can be equal until all of us are equal.
Democracy is being able to accept something without starting a war over it.
Most are trying to grow towards a world with no violence or evil or chaos. That is essentially the dream. You've tried peaceful protesting, practicing peace and nonviolence, even having to incorporate violence because that problem felt right at the time.
We refuse to listen to each other and honor what each other have to say.
I think conflict occurs when communication and attempts to understand each other ends. We can't hold our opinions too close to the chest.
We change the world with an understanding of both sides.
I am scared to speak these truths, even into this supposedly revolutionary space. But I'm scared of being judged for what I believe in.
We must listen to those older than us, to those younger than us, to everyone around us.
What stories do you want us to tell that will inspire people to keep caring about one another?
I'm not proud to be an American, but I am proud to live in America. I'm proud to have access to the things that my ancestors worked to build as slaves, but I'm not proud to be a part of the same system that put them into slavery.
Yes, the problem is fixing America. As King said, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. We cannot get along with other countries if we can't get along with ourselves.
Native American blood is such an extreme rarity that the Bureau of Indian Affairs only requires you to have a quarter of it to be officially recognized. This country was founded on stolen land, an idea that has painted our morals in blood. Natives had to fight to survive, to continue their bloodline. Many were forcefully married to white colonizers, even more were raped by them. I exist now today with a white passing privilege that I must thank and respect my ancestors for every single day, lest their suffering be for naught. In that vein, it is utterly vital that I appreciate my place in this country. Not necessarily my status in its society, but my status as a living, breathing human being. My genes were fought for. Now, I must fight for my children's dreams long after I have left this earth.
Even being native to this country, I never really took much pride in it because I've always felt let down. I know I'm just a kid and don't completely understand.
If we in this room are too scared to recognize the complete and violent truth of this world, then what is the point?
I'm waiting. I don't want to talk about what. Though the storm is coming, the quiet keeps me up at night. I'm waiting for everyone else to stand and see. 'Cause it's really scary when the whole world's listening. Why am I waiting? There's only one way out of this. We all must come together, raise our voices and our fists. I'm sick of waiting. We shouldn't be this far away. I'm stuck here waiting till I can figure out what to say.
I know everyone's scared to say it, but we are scared. So no, in this moment, I'm not proud to be an American. I'm scared of what being American means for me.
In some videos I've seen on social media, it will be between someone American and someone from Europe. And it normally be jokes like, you guys got weird teeth and eat beans and toasted bread. You guys can't go to school without getting shot.
I am not proud to be an American. I wish I was from somewhere else. Somewhere I could be myself and don't have to think about all the bad things.
The only thing united over here is the challenges we face.
I'm very wary of identifying as an American because I never want that to become more important than my identity as a human.
If I were to visit a foreign country, I wouldn't introduce myself as an American. If anything, I present my blackness first.
I don't feel good about identifying as American. It makes me uncomfortable since I'm a mix of black and Asian. And just knowing how people like me were exploited and used, it makes me feel very distant.
I'm not proud of how the world sees American pride. I mean, it's things like guns, beers, trucks, eagles, obesity, etc.
If you have the will to appreciate a person for their bare bones of a being, you realize how truly connected we all are. Not by personality or social status or sexuality or race, but by our meager existence as animals on this planet in an endless universe.
I can't blame a whole country that was supposedly supposed to be found on unity and freedom. Yet today we find we the people divided by an elephant and a donkey. It's really like Animal Planet. We have people on their throats, fighting for a spot at the top at which there will always be a bigger fish, a big bad mean fish who just takes and takes everything from little fishes. A selfish fish who will stop at nothing to make everything his and swallow the world whole. But y'all put him in office.
Just gets worse and worse and worse until it feels like a curse, and worse and worse.
I feel like the truth people need to accept is that we could lose this election. I feel like once we finally accept that, we can make a plan to stop this or prepare.
There's a good possibility that we may get this dude as a president again. And what disturbs me is that I know for a fact that if he wins, this country could be in a very, very dark place.
United we stood, and united we fell. History keeps repeating itself. Stop ignoring what's right on the shelf. United we stood, and united we fell. History keeps repeating itself. Stop ignoring what's right on the shelf. United we stood, and united we fell. History keeps repeating itself. Stop ignoring what's right on the shelf.
In this truth, this terrifying truth, there is no excuse. We have to plant the roots, give release to this everlasting view.
When day comes, I will ask America how it can lie so easily to those it promised liberty.
I think a truth that is terrifying is the fact that we live in a place where a president could get shot and killed at a rally.
Right. We shouldn't wish for other people to die.
Or to lose their rights.
Everyone, no matter how weird, strange, gross, or disgusting they may seem to you, deserves the same rights and freedom as anybody else.
America, why is it so hard to compromise? Why can't we respect all people? Why does violence have to solve all of our problems?
If we're to keep growing this way as a nation, we'll grow towards bigotry, fascism, and an overall worse way of living for all minorities and women, as our rights are consistently being stripped away from us every minute.
It's only a matter of time before the nothing left to lose mechanism kicks in. Our generation will hit their final burst of desperation, contempt, and apathy.
We grew from all the chaos that we have caused. There's no one to blame but ourselves. We sit and lay in this mess.
I have faith that considering the power of rebellion in generations before, that this generation can learn from history.
I think we will learn not to repeat history, but we might mess up along the way.
It's scary. I don't want the fate of the world in my hands, but it's the truth.
If we merge mercy with might,
And might with right.
Then love becomes our legacy.
And
change our children's birthright.
We are the next adults, and yes, that is a terrifying prospect. But we have to recognize this and own up to it now, because these little kids are looking up to us, following us, and it is our job to show them how to fight for what they believe in, and their voices be heard.
We are the leaders. We are the example. We write the narrative now.
The unknown is undoubtedly more terrifying than the truth, because the truth provides a compass to right and wrong and how we live our lives.
We may be the masters of our own fate. However, we do not see that ship alone.
We must prove that we are angry and assertive and forgiving.
A force too great to see, a distant entity points a finger at you and me. Standing's not as powerful as when blinking arms can challenge them, and will realize the blame belongs on those who taunt and shame our hunger.
All we love is under attack. What do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
And the world we love is under attack. What do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
And everything we've ever loved is going up in flames. And everyone just acts like this ain't totally insane.
When the world we love is under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. When the world we love is under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. When everything we've ever loved is going up in flames, and everyone just acts like this ain't totally insane.
Time's ticking down like an atom bomb, trying to make this life work in a world of wrong. But this song will strike minds like a gong, ringing through every ear from Berlin to Hong Kong. Let the nation hear my cries from the moon like Armstrong. All systems a game, I better call it ping pong. Our people are abused and used like a pawn, but we will stand and fight and win by the break of
When the
dawn.
world we love stand up, fight back. When the world we love is under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. When everything we've ever loved is going up in flames, and everyone just acts like this ain't totally insane.
Change has no age, love has no limitations. Colors, characters, constant confusion. In this future, in this moment, we are rise from what we are holding, molding our minds, bodies, and souls. We are more than moments, they slow, molding our minds, bodies, and souls. We are more than moments, they slow.
When the world we love stand up, fight back. When the world we love is under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. When everything we've ever loved is going up in flames, and everyone just acts like this ain't totally insane.
We will rise from the gold-limbed hills of the west.
We will rise from the windswept northeast, where our forefathers first realized revolution.
We will rise from the lake-rimmed cities of the Midwestern states.
We will rise from the sun-baked south.
People outside the South stereotype us as dumb, racist, and without any culture.
I don't think anyone in the South is inherently dumb or racist.
We as a whole are more pliable, easily governed. We are fractured, divided, and fighting against each other instead of the puppet masters trying to control our world.
Who is the puppet master pulling on your string?
If we don't want hateful people to take our rights or democracy, then why should we let them take our patriotism?
Love will implore us to continue fighting for the change in heart of those who view us as the opposition, no matter the resistance, hatred, or pride that others are motivated by. Our love will be so radical and unabashed that their closed hearts will open up and wonder where all of the light is coming from.
I think that is why people riot. As Dr. King said, a riot is the language of the unheard. People riot because the only options offered are ones to stay silent.
They should be lucky that we seek justice and not revenge.
I need us to know that collectively we are not the minority. If every discriminated group joins together, we would be a force they couldn't help but listen to.
When day comes, I ask myself, can you still be the light to those who are blind and cannot tell the difference between day and night, and cannot feel the warmth of the light? I pray you don't give up. Never lose your spot, superstar.
Have you done anything to stand up for what you believe in?
Us remembering that we're all on the same team and caring for one another.
Caring for kills you.
Struggle is a never-ending process. Freedom is never really won. You win it and earn it in every generation. Coretta Scott King.
So come and take my hand, and together we will fly from the river down below to the top of the hill we climb.
So I'm gonna stop my boots in the Georgetown mud. Gonna make my voice be loud. Gonna stand up tall and scream and yell and shout. Gonna send the message across the land and let it all ring out. So I'm gonna speak my truth across this big old land where the wild horses run, where the eagle soars up high, from the fields down below, where the mountains touch the sky. Gonna speak my truth to power, gonna let my message shine.
So come and take my hand, and together we will fly from the river down below to the top of the hill we climb.
Praying America's flag.
Flag on your lawn, singing the national anthem. These are examples of patriotism. But I feel like it depends on who the person is for me to feel uneasy or not about patriotism. Like when it's Beyonce showing her red, white, and blue, I'm thinking, I'm okay! But when it's a racist white man, it's more of a,
Oh. I think Beyonce is a cultural icon who is truly doing her part to reclaim the flag. I mean, when I see her waving that flag, I don't see hatred or racism. I see pride. I see her trying to take back the flag and show that it represents everyone, not just one group.
There's an American flag attached to a tree at the top of my driveway. When I was little, I used to think it was cool. I remember telling my friends which house was mine, and I would say, it's the one with 3 big trees and an American flag. Now I kind of just hope my friends don't notice it when they come over. I feel like when people think about the flag, now all they think of is Trump supporters and white supremacists, which are things that me nor my family support in the slightest. So one day I asked my dad, why do we keep that flag up? People think we're bad people when they drive by. He told me that we leave it up because we need to reclaim patriotism.
Every day we rise to stand, say our daily culty chant. I pledge allegiance to the flag, instilled in our brains in ironclad. But when I see those ivory stars, I don't see freedom but prison bars. A reminder of those who seek to take our collective voice within their wake. Sunglasses and pickup trucks and angry shouts. Aren't they in luck to be born with everything in their favor? Their beliefs too half-formed and hardened to waver? They raise the flag with ignorant pride, shunning the rest who don't take sides. When all else fails to prevent their attack, there's one thing to do. We take the flag back.
Not gonna lie, I'm pretty scared. Been in this valley for a long, long time, and I know that we still care. Cause we have this one thing that will not go away, and that is hope.
just is.
In one of my poems, I once wrote that we are the next generation of superstars. We truly are going to make a change. I see so much potential in my peers, even though they try to hide because of society's norms. I feel as if we motivate each other instead of putting each other down. We can break bad habits and not feel afraid of our knowledge. Not feel afraid to share it because we hold so much of it. And we as a generation truly hold so much power.
Care if it kills you. Share, the world needs you.
Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate.
Our deepest fear is that we're powerful beyond measure.
It is our light, not our darkness, that frightens us.
We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant? Gorgeous? Talented? Fabulous?
Actually, who are you not to be?
We're all meant to shine as children do.
And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same.
When we are liberated from fear, we automatically liberate those around us. Marianne Williamson.
Hope means the will to never hold back or give up. I strive to become more hopeful and not let others take my hope.
The light at the end of the tunnel is a future of love and joy. It's not necessarily the harmonious future itself, just a strong belief that it can be achieved.
And it sounds like a Will Ferrell song. You know, the guy who made Happy?
He's a person that changed my life. Watching him play and produce music on TV made me love music and fashion and just being genuine.
I am sick of fake optimism and platitudes. What I see coming at this revolution is radical, unbridled hope and joy.
The top of the hill is bright. So bright that you ever forgot it was dark. Actually, no. Because I feel like we need to acknowledge that darkness to truly appreciate the light.
Hope is that light you can see in the dark when everything goes bad. And somehow you still find a way to positively perceive the world.
I've done hit rock bottom before. Been there for a long time. So if things go wrong, I am able to listen to music or go on a walk and stay calm because I've been in a situation like this.
Standing still in an unforgiving motion, lightning striking the tide, a country still living in a false notion, with nobody at your side. A dying candle keeps company in a world full of darkness. The barren sound of a dying dream rots an empty carcass. What chance do we stand in the face of the monster? The space of the monster, the place of the monster. We float in a sea of lost souls, in a stream of dreams foretold. In a rhythm of lies we already know. We're stuck in the web weaved by monsters and fiends of the dark, blocking our paths as we march to the ark.
When there's no light inside, at the end of the tunnel, the light is you and me. The light is everything we've ever known and could ever hope to be. No one's things that's left unspoken. Knowing you can find it if we try enough. Never say it's just too much. That old hill we climb, that old hill we climb. It's our time. It's our time.
We get free by showing what it looks like.
We will always fight, and maybe one day we will rest.
The fact is, in a perfect world, we would let our elders rest, knowing that the garden they planted will be plenty for our future.
Our roots make the earth and each other stronger.
We aren't held back by the way the world is. We imagine what it can be. What is at the top of the hill we climb? Is it hope, unity, love, empathy perchance? And just acts being brought to the light, that is the hill we climb. We stretch against every break of dawn.
What's at the top of the hill? At the top of the hill is real love. And when I say real love, I mean without any buts. That love is the first answer.
I was raised by loving people who taught me that love was the only answer. And love can suck sometimes.
The top of the hill isn't a utopia, but a place where peace and passion prevail above all evil.
It's how it feels to feel lucky to be alive again and to begin to love life.
I love when I'm smiling without realizing. I also love when I'm frowning without realizing. I love when this body is so uninhibited and in control at my discretion.
You should be around people that make you smile and are joyful.
The top of the hill is what America promised in the first place. Liberty, freedom, and justice for all. And so far it has not delivered.
At the top of that hill, I see humanity. I see love, unbridled and unaffected. I see us learning to trust again.
When my brother was battling cancer, I learned the only way to confront darkness is with love and laughter.
Just the Miss Jubilee. It's going to parties where you dance with your whole body, eat authentic food, and meet a multitude of people.
It's rolling in Cascade and then getting Waffle House at 2 in the morning. Riding down 25, bumping Yeah by Usher.
Yeah! 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 Yeah!
It's rap music, it's pop music, it's jazz, it's shouting, it's that rhythmic around the dance circle. And it smells like a barbecue, like those real good ones, you know, who's on the grill, and you're ready to eat, and it tastes like that same barbecue. But it doesn't matter what's on your plate, because it's all so good. Whether it's the ribs or the cornmeal, we eating good, y'all. Let me tell you about Atlanta. Let me tell you about my home, my place, my people, the reason I get out of bed every morning. Breathe. Smile at the sun. Show the shade. Never forget the shade. Breathe. I'm a product of Atlanta, and it is a product of me.
Historical hotspot of innovation and change.
A heart and home of diversity of different people living together, working together, loving together.
Breathe. Breathe the way you breathe.
I'm a Georgia peach. I grew up in the Georgia sun, and I'll be baking the prettiest peach pie you will ever see.
I was raised in the dust of my brother's baseball game.
I have been eaten by the Atlanta mosquitoes, and I have tasted the Atlanta rain.
I'm a combination of Atlanta's clouds, clear skies, and occasionally snow.
Breathe. Smell the clean air. The hurricane has passed. Breathe.
Look around you. Really look. Walk the streets, see the murals, hear the music, taste the food, and yes, smell the city streets.
Smell the soil. Look at the dappled sidewalk beneath your feet. Gaze at the golden green tree branches that stretch high above your head.
Breathe.
Notice the hill we've climbed and breathe.
Breathe the growth of the new generations.
Breathe. Breathe and watch the new hill they will climb.
Now look at those around you. See the artists of Atlanta, those who paint our Atlanta murals, those who write our Atlanta songs.
Look at our teachers, our lawyers, our doctors. Look at the everyday office worker.
Surrounding you is the complexities of humanity, every culture, character, color, and condition of
demand.
Breathe, and don't unionize against different breaths. We're the soup that simmers in our pot of a city.
Fire needs oxygen.
Breathe!
And look at this stage. Look at your future. You don't know our names yet, but trust, you will.
We're gonna enjoy our hope, our creativity, our determination.
Our anger, our sadness, our discouragement, and our stubbornness.
Leave the nation unfinished.
Breathe.
But not unjustified.
Breathe. Gaze into our eyes and witness the spirit of change, progress, revolution. This is my home. These are my people.
Their words have carved valley and hills into my mind. Their ideas meld into my blood and flow through my veins. Their passion in every bone of my body.
My heart beats in rhythm with theirs. As their lungs fill with breath, so it does mine.
When we breathe together, we are together. Use the breath. It takes a union to breathe.
They give me hope. They feed my faith. I could not assure you that our future is bright if not for the people on this stage. We are the light at the end of the tunnel. We are the sun at dawn, and we are the moon and the stars at dusk. The love I feel for these people, for Atlanta, for the world, that love lies at the top of the hill we all climb.
Breathe! In a small room